I'm going to show you how to sim your character. So in the Warcraft you need two add-ons. You need an add-on called SimC, which is on Twitch, and also Ask Mr. Robot. So we'll start with Ask Mr. Robot first. I've created a set with absolute crap in it, just to give an example of how this all works. So I'm now 260 item level, the best. So if I do /AMR show, space show, it brings up the Ask Mr. Robot. Now if I copy that and then take that into the Ask Mr. Robot site, if you've got a username, an account and registered, you can do a full optimization of your bags. So you can do an optimize and then paste in the string that you just copied from World of Warcraft. Now that's took straight away my character. We'll go straight to it. We'll do best in bags, find best in bags, and select what you want to be simming for. So obviously I'm Guardian spec, so I'll keep it as Guardian. We'll keep it as all defense. We'll do find best in bags. Don't rely on this because it's never always the best. So that there is all the items. That is the best. If it's grayed out a bit, you've already got the right one. If it's not grayed out, obviously it's going to be a change. So if I send that to the add-on, then copy that string and then back into Warcraft, I'll go to the gear and do an import and then paste in the string, which didn't seem to work there. I'll have to optimize it again. Best in bags, find best in bags. I'm just doing this offline so I can get it sorted, send it add-on. That's better. I paste the string in. Now you can see if it's got an E, it's equipped. If it hasn't, it's going to equip it. So I click the equip. You'll notice that under the gear specs, when it's fully equipped, it'll tick. Now, some people just use that and it ends at that. It's not the way to do it. What you now do is you sim it properly by doing /simc. Now this is Simcraft, and then what this does, using the RaidBots website, which is this one coming up now. RaidBots, this is your go-to site. You can look at your top gear, quick simming, stat weights, which we'll show that in a bit. Gear compare, which is basically like Ask Mr. Robot, but better. It does a lot of calculations, so in there we're pasting exactly what we took from World of Warcraft. It has currently what I've got, and this isn't actually the one that we want. We want top gear. Compare gears if you want to sim your character outside a game, so you knew it was coming up. So again, we'll paste that in there. It takes my current spec and all the items that I have in my bag. So what I can do is I can actually take both my helmets and actually get it to look up the Azerite power, which is the best out there. Same with the shoulders, and as you can see just below that, it's doing all the iterations. We'll take them shoulders as well, although I know they're no good. As you see, it keeps going up. There is a maximum that you can do it to, which it's gone red. So obviously simming the chest is going to be no good. We'll just keep it the shoulders for the time being. I do this a few times. Enchants, we'll select what enchants we're going to use. So I'm going to select mastery and then quick navigation, daily navigation, and then mastery again. Then we'll find top gear. That'll then go off calculating exactly what I've selected. Mine does a lot more than a standard user, because I've done the Patreon. It's worth it if you want to sim your character properly, because the more iterations you can do, the more simming you can do, instead of having to keep refreshing the site over and over again. So that'll then go off and search which is the best gear to use. As I say, Ask Mr. Robot doesn't do everything for you. Raid bots, I've always went to it afterwards. So once that's finished, it'll then show you what your character should be, and it'll highlight what needs changed that you've selected. So there, straight away, it's saying that the cowl should be that. So if we're easily remembered, blue, lightning, gem. So we'll go back to Warcraft and we'll look at the cowl. It's the wrong cowl, so then we'll put the correct cowl on, and then we'll check was that the correct Azerite power. So blue, lightning, and we haven't got the gem yet. So that's fine. So then if we go back to the summon, the next thing I suggested was the mantle. So then back in Warcraft, we then select the mantle. Then what I normally do is I have this set for another one, and then if we go back to the summon again, it's refreshed it, so I'll have to do it all over again. But if I do Top Gear again, this time back on Warcraft, I shall pull the SimC offline, so that might take the head and shoulders because we know we've already simmed them. So it's kept the best ones to change this time around. Then I can select all my cloaks, all my wrists, hands, waists. You can see it's still adding up. Rings, trinkets. Oh, trinket topped it. So I'm gonna take that ring off because I know it's no good. I'm gonna put pants on. Nope, still too many iterations. Weapons, too many iterations. Go for find the top gear. Now this will do the full sim. Obviously, just remember what the enchants I wanted previously. That can change. You can tell it to replace or keep. So this one will take some time. And obviously what I've done is I've kept, I'll show you. I've kept the Ask Mr. Rowe, which is the AMR Guardian. It calls that straight away. So if we go back to that and remember, that was 350. If we go back to the sim, and hopefully it hasn't reset itself. It has. So I'll quickly get that simming again. Speed up a bit more. As I say, let that sim again. But currently, Ask Miss Robot said it was 350 item level, which obviously everyone's going for. I need to be the highest item level. It doesn't work like that. It's just stats you need to be focusing on. So once this is fully simmed, we'll show the difference. I say it can take some time, because I was using processing power from another server. There is a way you can actually get it to sim on your own personal PC. I'm sure that way as well you can do multiple simulations, and they will also use some of your processing power as well. Obviously it's a community based thing, helping each other out. And as you can see, it does take some time, but worth it in the end. I have been using this since Legion as Death Knight, Unholy. People said Unholy wasn't the way to go. Sort of proved them and come to the end, getting the right legendaries, the right gear in the right areas, correct neck piece, because it was a bit of a carry on getting the right neck piece, whether it was off Argus or if it was off Varamoth. And I was just constantly simming it, just seeing well what works, what doesn't work. And in the end I actually became in the top 5 as a melee DPS. So now there, 60%. And say all this is doing is constantly calculating against Patchwork, the boss in Naxxramas. That's what they use for the Sims. And I think it does as if it was a 5-minute boss fight. You can change that to make it sim longer, but say the longer it is, it's going to take ages to recalculate. And so once I've showed this, I'll use raid bots as well to get your stat weights for pawn, which that'll help you in game whether an item that drops is an upgrade or not, because then you could potentially go to another member of your guild, your community. So it's picking up a bit now. '83. It's a good job I did reduce it down, because I would have been waiting some time for this to actually finish simming. And you will go to generating the report. So obviously it's got stitch bridges, changing all these, so it's quite a big change from what Ask Mr. Robot had said. And this, because obviously this you can't really use this for tanking or healing, but it can give you a rough idea. It's going for your damage. This is now giving me an estimate of 8k DPS in bare spec. So if we go back to Warcraft, I already have the items set in my equipment manager. So this is Ask Mr. Robot, which is 350.81. The raid bots full guardian was this spec, which is 351. So quite a big difference. And as I say, this is now set the gear for a bit more DPS. The only thing I'll probably change out is the trinket, which I think I set that up there, which was the raid bot just changed the trinket, depending on what the fight is, whether it's just survivability like Zul. So then the other thing you can do with this, if we sim say this, because obviously I keep both profiles, Ask Mr. Robot and the raid bots, I'll copy the sim again, and then if we go back to raid bots, this time do stat weights, and then paste in the stat weights in here, the same sim C. This will then go and generate the pawn stat weights. So that goes off looking at your gear, creating the stat weight. So it's come up with a few errors there. So this is using pawn, it's another add-on you can have installed. So there's your pawn string. If you actually copy that and go back into Warcraft, and then you'll see pawn in the bottom corner. If you then on scales import the pawn weight, that's put in the weights for your gear. You can change the colour to whatever you want. So if we change it just for this one time to green, I can then bring my bags up, and then if you look for any item that has an up arrow, which like that one there is actually stating that for my feral spec, because I've got 2 of them on here, there's a 3% increase. If we go to this one, you can see it's a 4% increase for my feral spec, but actually a 2% increase for my guardian spec. So that's suggesting the rates could be better potentially, but obviously the wrist I'm currently wearing is because it's got indestructible on, which, you know, saves a bit of gold, amongst a bit more mastery for this spec. Just yeah, that's simming your character. If I put this back to the colours it did have originally, So then I'm back to normal. For simming though, you know, that's how you sim. Other places to look, icy veins, you know, the people have put these guys together to help you. There's plenty of information on there. Explain your characters a bit more. Proper rotations, your builds, because some people might have the incorrect builds. They're just picking what they believe could be right. So obviously their suggestion here, what they believe is the best spec, but giving explanations why. But also gives you your best in slot, which is normally the common asked thing of, well, is it the right gear for you? Which I'm just looking at, there is gear and best slot. So this is now updated to old gear. So now you can see, obviously, the Void of the Binder is best in slot for Feral Druids. It's incorrect because it's not from Mithrax. He might drop it, but I know I didn't get mine from Mithrax. The Dark Moon card, still one of the best ones. Obviously, that'll help you give you an idea of where the gear is coming from, and it gives a bit more advice here in Blood Malice, which was there simming over all the trinkets, which does the best output. So say use Icy Veins, also good old Wowhead, you know, your go-to site. They've created guides on here as well, which isn't working. Yeah, they've got their guides. Obviously I can't get that one working at the moment. Yeah, so that's what you should be using. Keying yourself up, getting yourself sorted, understand your character a bit more, you know, and getting the best gear and DPS out of it for yourself. So I hope that's helped you.